everyone, it's Fitz with the Postgame Walk Talk here underneath. It started raining again here a little more than an hour after the conclusion of the game. Winds picked up. What a great win for K-State. 47-27 over the University of Kansas here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium on Saturday night. Of course, that means K-State places second all alone in the Big 12 and earns the right to play TCU next Saturday in Arlington, Texas for the Big 12 championship. And what an opportunity for this team. What a job this team has done recovering from that Tulane game. You know, at the start of the season I predicted 9-3, but not with the loss to Tulane. So, recovering and going 7-2 in the conference is a remarkable feat because this conference is brutal. And I lost to TCU and Texas, two really good teams. The other top two teams along with K-State at the top of the conference. So just a very satisfying way that K-State won this game. They did it really with what K-State has built this program on through the years, and that's just being a very well-rounded team and being better in special teams than your opponent. And K-State, of course, came out with a 3-and-out, and then we have the muff punt, recovered, touchdown. A little bit later, they pinned KU back and ends up with a safety. Then Malik Knowles with a big return that set up another touchdown. This game was won with special teams, but the defense flipped the switch at halftime as they typically do. They were much better in the second half. They got some things done. KU is good. And as Chris Kleiman said after the game, it's kind of remarkable they only had a little more than 300 yards of offense because it felt a lot more like 400 yards. But that just emphasizes how good K-State was in the second half. First half they had to throw the ball a little bit more than expected probably to make some progress, build that halftime lead, and then the second half they came out running and they finished it off on the ground. I think they threw 3 passes in the entire second half, and one of them was a screen pass to Deuce Vaughn that went for long yardage. So K-State really kind of pulled it together in the second half, and that's going to have to be something they do against TCU. And we'll have plenty of time to talk about TCU. It's just like another game week here added on. We'll have the Tuesday press conference, hopefully Thursday coordinators. We'll leave for Arlington on Friday games. Saturday morning at 11, college game day, will be there. But really the story here is how well Kansas State played when they really needed to. It wasn't a great all-around performance. In fact, I'm a little bit concerned about how this defense will hold up against a really good TCU offense. But on this day, man, I tell you what, they did what they needed to do. And the progress that Lance Leipold has made at Kansas with this team, Jalen Daniels at quarterback, is nothing short of remarkable. That's a good football team. That's one of the better KU football teams, probably the best one since their Orange Bowl season. And they look at, they play it. Their offensive line played well. Their defense was good enough at times, but K-State finished off drives and made some big plays. They really cashed it in. It's hard to say a defense played well when they gave up 47 points, but again, a lot of that was leaning on special teams and not necessarily because of the defense. Man, what a job Chris Kleiman's done with this program. He took it over. He knew the depth was depleted. He knew he had to, put some things together to kind of round out the product. And without that added depth at safety, they'd be in huge trouble. I still don't think the defense is nearly as good as it was now that they've had the 2 injuries at safety. But these guys are getting some playing time. And if you look at the tackle charts, 3 of the top 4 tacklers on the team this week were the safeties. So they were just vital in this win. But to get this program back to competing for a Big 12 title in year 4 is quite an accomplishment. If Neil Brown's fired, I would expect that to happen. Chris Kleiman will be the only survivor from that 4-man new coaching class back in 2019. He and Brown are the only ones left, and I think Neil will be done. So it was Chris Kleiman that floated to the top, and I kind of felt that might happen when he was hired. He put together a great staff. And I've covered a lot of K-State teams that have been really good. Some really elite teams too. I've been honored to do that. There's something different about this team all the way to the core. They seem to be bought in on what they're trying to do. So congratulations to the Wildcats. And, we're looking forward to going to Arlington, covering it all for you. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're taking advantage of our special, still up, still live. Black Friday is going on still at 24/7 Sports, 75% off a subscription. And we will have lots of coverage. In fact, when I get home, I'm going to meet Cole Carmody and Ryan Gilbert, and we're doing a podcast for you. It's getting kind of late here, but you guys deserve it. We're going to celebrate the K-State victory in our own way by continuing to work for you. Appreciate all your support, everyone that follows along, everyone who watches these videos. Cats, 9-3, 7-2 in the conference, 1 win away from a Big 12 title. And in all likelihood, win or lose, they are headed to the Sugar Bowl, either as Big 12 champs or replacing a TCU team that just beat them as Big 12 champs because they're in the college football playoff. And K-State would likely, almost assuredly, be the highest ranked team from the Big 12 at that point, earning that Sugar Bowl bid. That's it for this walk and talk, standing here outside of the rain and trying to stay dry and out of the wind. Thanks, everyone.